The laughter that followed was a small, suffocating thing. Polite. Terrified. My mother's smile was a still life painting, flawless and frozen. My new brother-in-law clinked his glass as if hearing the forecast. And I sat there, every nerve ending scalded, realizing I had just been elegantly, publicly, erased. So, I crafted my own toast. I met my father's gaze, my smile not a flinch but a promise. Good thing I just got my own place 2,000 miles away, I said, my voice a clean, clear bell in the hushed room. Don't worry. You'll never have to see me take up space again. The silence that fell was heavier than the laughter had been. I stood, my champagne flute a pristine, untouched monument, and walked out of their perfect, airbrushed picture. That was the night they toasted their control. And I, tasting freedom for the first time, started drafting my escape. The hotel room after smelled of dying lilies and regret, the same scent that clung to my skin like a ghost. I replayed the scene on the ceiling, the microphone's gleam, the surgical precision of his words, the terrifying stillness of my mother's face. I had always known our family was a beautiful house built on fault lines. I just never knew humiliation was the mortar holding it together. Back in Indiana, the silence in my parents' house was a physical presence. It was in the perfect gray shutters, the manicured lawn, the perpetual kitchen light. The very air felt contractual, as if I owed rent for every breath I took. My father, at his mahogany throne, didn't look up from his spreadsheets. You made quite an exit, he said, his tone clinical, assessing a bad investment. My mother poured coffee, her movements a studied ballet. Your father is just worried. You embarrassed yourself, that's all. Embarrassed myself. That was their alchemy, turning their poison into my failure. My sister, Kelsey, texted from the Amalfi Coast, a row of heart and champagne emojis. She had a PhD in selective memory. When she flunked out freshman year, it was burnout. When I asked for help with tuition, it was irresponsibility. The same story, just a different designated villain. For years, I believed I could build a bridge to them with enough achievement, enough obedience. But that night, in my girlhood bedroom with its participation trophies and unpaid emotional debts, I saw the truth. They didn't misunderstand me. They understood the hierarchy perfectly, and they liked it just the way it was. My father once told me, if you want love, earn it. At 16, I mistook it for wisdom. At 27, I finally saw the exquisite cruelty tucked inside. The love I was trying to buy was already mortgaged to Kelsey, the daughter who never had to ask twice. The next morning, I watched the choreography of their normalcy. Dad in his pressed shirt, Mom watering the plants I'd once killed by forgetting them. It was this terrifying normality that could smooth over any crack, rewrite any hurt. If I stayed, I would be folded back into my role, useful, quiet, apologetic. So, I didn't apologize. I opened my laptop and started a new spreadsheet. I titled it Oxygen. For 2 weeks, we starved the conflict of air. In the family chat, photos of Kelsey, our bright girl, living her dream. I hearted them, the way you applaud a magician whose trick you've already figured out. Then, I returned to my ritual. Mornings for work. Afternoons for job searches in cities with names that sounded like freedom, Portland, Denver, Flagstaff. Evenings for my escape fund. Every time my mother texted a guilt-laced question, I sold something. A stack of books, a dress worn twice, an old camera. Each sale was a breath drawn deep into my new lungs. My father called, his voice faux gentle. Your mother says you've been distant. I've been consistent, I replied. You just noticed. Don't be dramatic. Family is family. That line used to be a cage. Now, it was just a string of empty words. After he hung up, I opened the file on my desktop. I renamed it Exit Strategy and booked a one-way flight to Portland for an interview. Walking past my parents' house, its windows glowing like a staged home, I realized the truth. They had built a beautiful, breathless house. And I was finally learning how to breathe. The collapse came swiftly. A week before my interview, Kelsey called, her golden girl voice tarnished with tears. He's gone. He says he needs space. Her bitter laugh was a sound I knew intimately, the sound of their logic used as a weapon. Funny how men always use your own words against you. I went to her. Her apartment was a museum of heartbreak. As we packed her husband's things, she whispered, "You were right to leave." I didn't say it wasn't about being right. It was about survival. I just nodded. That night, my mother was waiting in the dark living room, her face half lit by her phone. "You helped your sister move?" A statement, not a question. "Kelsey called. Said you were wonderful. Said you told her to come home." I didn't. Her lips curved, a predator's smile. "Well, she's on her way. We're having dinner Sunday. You'll be there." It was an ambush, garnished with lasagna and candlelight. I walked in at 6, my phone charged, my plans backed up on a USB drive hidden in my purse. The table was set for 4, a perfect still life of forced reconciliation. My father didn't look up. "Your cousin Mia says you've been applying out west." "I have an interview," I said, my voice a placid lake. "We're just worried you're running from something, Gianna," my mother cooed. "Maybe," I said, my smile a shard of ice. "Maybe I'm running towards something." He finally looked at me, his gaze a slamming door. "Don't turn this into another rebellion. You've always been dramatic." "Or maybe," I said, the words clean and sharp, "you've always been cruel." The room froze. "You don't mean that." "I do." The air crackled. "You humiliated me in public, and you all laughed. You raised me on contracts and called it love. Family is family just means obedience is obedience. He stood, a king whose throne was shaking. "Watch your tone." I laughed, a short, sharp sound. "That's all you care about, isn't it? The tone. The presentation. You don't care if you hurt people, as long as it looks civilized. We gave you everything." "No," I countered, my voice dropping to a whisper that cut deeper than a shout. "You sold me everything. At interest." I turned to Kelsey. "Are you staying?" Her eyes were wide, glistening pools of understanding. She said nothing. I nodded. That was answer enough. "Gianna." My father's voice was a command that had frozen me 1,000 times before. "Don't you walk away from this family." I looked back at him, my soul feeling lighter than it ever had. "You walked away first, Dad. You just did it slower." I left without slamming the door. A quiet exit, I've learned, is the loudest of all. Outside, the humid night air was a baptism. At my apartment, the email glowed on my screen, offer, creative strategist, Portland. Everything they said I didn't deserve. I printed it, sliding it into my leather folder, my next chapter. Then, my phone vibrated. An unknown number. Kelsey's whisper was frantic. "They're furious. Mom went through your laptop. She found the exit strategy. Don't come back. They're waiting. Doors closed. Please." The betrayal was a cold fire. "Thank you," I breathed. After a moment, she added, the words a fragile gift, "I'm proud of you." I packed with a measured, deliberate calm. The good jeans, the shirts that felt like me, the leather folder, the USB. Everything else was kindling. Before dawn, I slipped out. The neighborhood slept. At the end of the driveway, I looked back. The porch light flickered, a tired, failing heartbeat. "You wanted me gone," I whispered to the sleeping house. "Now you get your wish." On the plane, as the engines roared, my father's words echoed one last time. "Some kids make you proud. Others just take up space." I smiled, soft and steady, as the wheels left the ground. "Then watch me," I said to the rising sun, "take all the space I need." And as we pierced the clouds, the air, for the first time, tasted unmistakably of oxygen. Portland greeted me with soft rain and the scent of wet cedar. My apartment was small, cracked at the edges, and entirely my own. The silence here wasn't empty, it was peaceful. It was full of my own uninterrupted thoughts. A voicemail arrived from Kelsey, her voice lighter, freer. I got the job in Chicago. Mom cried. It wasn't about sadness. It was about losing control. Thank you for showing me it's possible. I replayed it twice and smiled. Our family cycle didn't end with an apology. It ended with distance. Safe, necessary, glorious distance. That night, I sat by my window, the city lights painting the rain-slicked streets gold. Another family dinner photo arrived in the group chat, the same empty chair at the table. I didn't open it. Some stories don't need sequels. I raised a glass of water to the reflection in my window. Here's to taking up space, I whispered. The quiet, my new and only confidant, answered back.